So yeah, meet the child stars who earned a fortune and then lost everything. Because we were talking about Justin Bieber and a few other people, Aaron Carter. And he's in this list. And I saw it and I was like, oh, you know what? We have to talk about this. Because it's insane how much money a lot of these kids made and then literally they had nothing. We'll turn the music off a minute for this. But yeah, so it really wasn't supposed to be this way. Not after a life spent living beneath the glaring spotlight of celebrity and the spotlight charged by a career that began with a significant role in one of the most prominent children's shows of the 2000s. And with this, it was going on about... Tony, with that, they were at Steelhouse over this weekend, a little festival here in Wales, and Wasp was there. I'm not too sure if they said anything. I'll have to ask my mate because he did go to it. But yeah, there's been a few bands who Ozzy helped and they haven't spoken out at all. But yeah, so this is all about Drake Bell as well, because a couple of weeks ago, he went on a podcast and said, even though he was one of the biggest child stars, he's almost broke. Literally, which is, when you think about it, it's like, what? But yeah, he said that at the height of his career is beyond a reach now as when he entered the industry as a naive 12. He's now 39. He admits he struggled to pay the rent on a home far removed from the sprawling Beverly Hills mansions one typically might associate with the Hollywood acting community. In a frank admission, the former child star admits he struggled to pay the rent on the home and literally, he said, yeah, Hollywood acting community, this is where we are. So here we go. It's like, you know, oh, you made a Folgers coffee commercial. You must live in a mansion in Hollywood. Like I saw you on TV. You're rich, he explained during a recent interview with the Unplanned podcast. That's far from the case, and especially, which is the bummer for most of us on Nickelodeon, we don't get residuals for our shows. I read that part there, and I was like, that's disgusting. Because, again, more than likely because they were kids. When you see a lot of kids who make it big, Nickelodeon, Disney, whatever, none of them get residuals for the shows to continue being shown. Now, look at Friends. That is still one of the biggest ones going, and each year, the members of Friends get $20 million each a year still, just from Friends. Which, to be honest with you, you've never got to work again, have you? You're getting $20 million each time that Friends is renewed for a brand new year to go on a different platform. Seinfeld, another one. Jerry Seinfeld, I think he makes, well, I think it's like $1 billion every couple of years for when he puts the rights over. Seinfeld. So, this is what we got. Seinfeld, he earned a amount of money, yep. During the show's original run, he earned $60 million in salary back then. Over the 9 seasons, he started at $20,000 per episode, up until $1 million per episode for the final season. He also earned substantial income from syndication and royalties because he actually owns the show, which is absolutely crazy. Well, Cassandra, you saying about that, about the parents packeting it, it does come up. And so his total earnings from the show are to be around $1 billion, with syndication revenue alone reaching $3 billion, which is insane. But yeah, like I say, with Drake, obviously, you know, Drake and Josh, huge show for the kids, which was absolutely insane. To be honest with you, I remember flicking over and just seeing it, and I'd watch an episode or two because they were funny. But yeah, look, you got him saying that it's nothing like this. And these things, Nickelodeon is still making money from them. And these guys are getting nothing, you know? Taking center stage alongside fellow child star Josh Peck. He played the angsty, cool, musical-loving teenager Drake. He was an instant hit with viewers, pulling in an astonishing 3.2 million viewers for its show premiere. Remember, back then, there was no recording off TV, you know, direct DVR. There was no streaming, there was nothing. And it's absolutely insane to see that these people are not getting anything. But then you got Dustin Diamond, who remembers Screech from Saved by the Bell. Saved by the Bell, boys and girls. I love that show. And obviously, Kelly Kapowski. The biggest crush I think anyone's ever had was her. So, yeah, so it's a show that appears to transcend the early 90s generation of teenagers it was originally made for. Countless reruns have given Saved by the Bell a sort of multi-generational success one usually associates with the biggest era-defining shows like Friends. So with this, the cast of Saved by the Bell still do not get any residuals. They get nothing, which is insane. But again, no, when you're a teenager or a kid, the parents are going to be like, oh yeah, just give them 10 million, that'll be fine. That's what it is. Because then, as Cassandra states, the parents are the ones who get most of it. Perfect example at this moment in time is Ryan's Toy World on YouTube. Absolutely insane. Because that kid supposedly has earned $200 to $300 million over his career. And again, he's like 12 or 13 now. And he doesn't see any of it. But yeah, so Saved by the Bell. Obviously, the actor responsible for bringing to life Dustin Diamond had already featured in 2 episodes of The Wonder Years before making it on Bayside High. And there we go for Saved by the Bell, the college years. And then, sadly, here in the UK, he became Celebrity Big Brother, like a decade or so ago, yeah. And it's absolutely insane because when this guy passed away, he literally had, like, hardly any money. Angel, yeah, AC or Zach, yeah, you know, it's absolutely nuts. Cassandra, yes, Amanda is in this as well. She's actually on this list as well. But, yeah, so obviously, after Saved by the Bell, he didn't know what to do. He admitted during an interview with Oprah it was hard to get work that wasn't Screech clone stuff, obviously. But it was sad that at the end of his life, he had 300 to 500 grand. That's how much he was worth. Considering that he made an initial $2 million from the show. Poor residual deals mean Diamond and his castmates failed to receive payment for any of the show's extensive reruns. You know what? That's what really, really annoys me. It sucks to see. And again, Gary Coleman. Gary Coleman sued his parents or his adoptive parents because of it. So Gary Coleman, he was worth $18 million as a kid. And he sued his parents because they mismanaged it. What you talking about, Willis? And here we got, where is it? Down by here. So, in 1978, which he ran for 8 years, earning a reported $100,000 per episode at the show's peak. Which would have been, what? Season 3 onwards? So $100,000 per episode, and he was one of the highest paid child stars of the 80s, but he only saw a fraction of the riches he earned. Managed by his adoptive parents, the actor, who developed kidney issues as a child that stunted his growth, saw a larger percentage of his sizable earnings diverted, leading to a bitter financial dispute in later life. You know what? When you have to take your own parents to court because they've literally squandered all of your money away, that must be heartbreaking for you. It has to be. Because it's like, you're my parents. You're meant to look out for me. But sometimes I see that when these parents have done it, I just see them as, ooh, how much money can we get away with? That's what it looks like, to me anyway. But yeah, say, in 89, just 3 years after the final credits rolled on Different Strokes, Coleman sued his parents and manager for misappropriation of earnings. And the sad thing about it, I think he got less than what they did. Yeah, so a judge at Beverly Hills Superior Court agreed that Coleman's parents and manager had wrongly banked $1.28 million in commission, salary, fees, and pension distributions between 82 and 87. He would walk away from court after agreeing to a $1.3 million settlement. Pocket change when compared to the $18 million that he actually earned. absolutely sucks. These parents should not be allowed. These parents should not be allowed to manage their kids or anything. Because, again, even though they could be like, oh, I know what's best for my child. No, you don't. Because you literally squandered your children's money away. But yeah, I see there, 4 years later, he filed for bankruptcy. I can spread the blame of filing for bankruptcy all the way around. From me to accountants, to my adoptive parents, to agents, to lawyers, and back to me again. That sucks, doesn't it? And here we go. At the time of his death, he was estimated to be worth $75,000. A fraction of the $18 million he earned. You know what? I have no idea how I would react if I earned $18 million. And again, Johnny Depp. $750 million his account managers and all them wasted. Which is insane. Absolutely sucks. Yeah, we got Jack Wilde, from Oliver. As film adaptations go, there's no denying the big screen musical Oliver was an enormous success. Yeah, it won all the Oscars. Made overnight stars. As we have Artful Dodger, the hitherto unknown Wilde, endured himself to millions through his versatility as a highly capable actor, singer, and dancer. And how much money did he earn? You got the Beatles, Jimmy going on there. But the actor's initial success doesn't really say about how much money he earned. Yeah, it does at the bottom right, okay. Hey Brett, how's it going, bud? So yeah, it said that over the years, because he fell into alcoholism, which sucks. And he said, I've been an alcoholic no matter what career I've chosen, rather than my success and balancing me. I think it balanced me out. By 1980, his career was in freefall. The money was gone and he was forced to make ends meet in Panto, while drinking steadily escalated. Finally, in an act of desperation, he turned to job seekers allowance. You know what? That must be really, really sad. You've literally been in some of the biggest films and TV shows ever. You've made a lot of money, and then all of a sudden, you have to go on job seekers allowance. So, obviously here in the UK for that, people know that. But in the States, it's welfare. That's basically, it is welfare. But he had to turn to welfare as a means of bringing in money to feed his crippling alcohol dependency. Which sucks. And he died aged 53 in 2006, 17 years after beating his addiction to alcohol. But it doesn't say how much money he was worth or anything. That just sucks. And here we go, Amanda. Here it is. Oh, Macaulay Culkin's father was horrible. To be honest with you as well, it's almost like now it's like with Britney Spears' father. Because he had control of the conservatorship, didn't he? But yeah, Amanda, another one which absolutely sucks. The poor girl, she's gone from being an absolute beautiful woman to someone who, she is damaged, and it is the upbringing and all that kind of stuff. It's absolutely sad to see they've gone this way. So at the height of her career, she was earning $3 million a year. But a life overshadowed by mental health issues, hospitalizations, and a strict conservatorship has decimated her earning power, with Amanda no longer working as an actress. Age 14 and already established thanks to Nickelodeon, she took center stage in The Amanda Show, a heavily financed vehicle for her evident potential. Absolutely sucks for her. I feel so sorry for her. But yeah, she'll star in role. I heard a knock at the door, I think. But yeah, so she starred in Big Fat Lie with Frankie Muniz and Paul Giamatti before landing one of the biggest parts of her career in Hairspray with John Travolta. Yeah, the poor girl. Drew Barrymore. So with Drew Barrymore, I do think the Drew Barrymore situation is a little bit different, mostly because, well, everyone was going, her family's Hollywood royalty, isn't it? And it's like wherever she went, she was allowed to do whatever. Wasn't she in rehab by the age of 10 or something? Which is mind-blowing. and very, very sad. Oh, look, there's Drake there. But yes, it's sad to see. Absolutely sad to see this is. And obviously when you're kids as well and you got all this money coming in, you're like, oh yeah. I really don't think that if your child is famous, I don't think the parents should manage him. Maybe, you know, do like book appearances, maybe. But I don't think they should handle the money. I really don't. But saying obviously with Amanda, it all hinted at greater things for her. By now 21 and commanding life-changing sums of money for her services, her career would rapidly unravel following Easy A. 2013, her most significant appearances were in court, driving under the influence, reckless endangerment, and possession, as her life went rapidly off the rails. And we've seen this with a lot of kids. That when they do start as kids, they don't get to be kids. They end up literally like growing up in the public's eye, and it's almost like they never grew up because they weren't allowed to. Like I say, with Macaulay Culkin, that's a perfect example, because if you remember, Angel, she were Studio 54 at 9, she was smoking, drinking, doing everything, which is insane. Which, when you think about it, and it's like, holy hell. But it's like by here, now with Amanda, if you just go back to it, she owned a reported $5.7 million worth of assets at the time of her conservatorship. And literally, the money just started going. Full control of her financial affairs, they claimed she squandered $1.2 million of her savings in less than a year. Among them, $200,000 cash withdrawals. Absolutely sucks. It's so sad to see him. You know? And this is the one thing that I think is absolutely sad. Is that Amanda, she has now decided to go onto OnlyFans. To me, that's just sad. But Aaron Carter, $200 million this kid made, and before he passed away, he didn't see any of it. Absolutely insane. He'd banked a reported $200 million for his 18th birthday, but he would struggle with financial problems. Among them, a $3.5 million tax bill. See, that's nothing, because his parents were doing it. This is the problem, see? It's sad. It really is. But I really, you just want to grab the parents and, you know, shake them and slap them and say, what are you doing? You are ruining your child. But again, no, they don't care. That's what it seemed to be with a lot of parents who were doing all this stuff. Again, Aaron Carter and the whole, you know, Justin Bieber and all them, giving the Diddy, that's what they did. Absolutely sucks. It really does. But, yeah, so he made over $200 million in his career before he even turned 18. We had a massive compound with 12 houses on it. It was worth over 10 mil. I had paid a lot of that money. I'd done a lot of that stuff. I never got any of those returns back or anything like that. Even at this point, I've never even owned my own home. There they both are, the brothers. So, he earned over $200 million before he was 18, and when he died, he was worth 550 grand. These parents should not be allowed to mishandle, or they shouldn't be allowed to handle this sort of money. That's what I take from this.